so a lot has changed. Let's see, how long has it been since my last Ultrakill video? 3 years ago? Are you telling me that I haven't made a new Ultrakill video since? Hold on. Quantumania? So unless you've been living under a rock for 3 years, the updates to Ultrakill are noticeable right as soon as you open the game. The menu design is so much more sleeker, the character select is fucking huge, and god damn it, I opened Ultra Street Fighter 4 again. Well, I guess while I have the game open, Seth is kind of V1-ish if I hold my breath for 2 minutes and start to squint. I love that this Resident Evil style disclaimer screen saying, "This game contains scenes of explicit violence and gore," has the skull from the game over screen open its jaw to emphasize the violence and gore. Like, that motherfucker is so giddy and excited to let you spread some viscera. The main menu is so much sleeker, updating V1's chart on the right in real time as you collect more arms in the game, and that elevator background that you're used to seeing in the background hasn't been forgotten, showing itself when you open up the difficulty select, but also splitting that V1 Vitruvian man in half, with the extra arms that he's earned isolated to the right side, while the left side is still the original form. Now, maybe you're wondering why in nearly 3 years that we've only gotten one new layer added to the game. Well, it turns out that's for a couple of reasons. The code holding Ultrakill together was incredibly messy, and the ideas had for Layer 8 were just too ambitious for the codebase at the time, so Peter, HeckTech, and the New Blood programming team spent some time completely rewriting and updating the code for the entire game. But, you know, there's more than just programmers that work on this game, so what exactly is the art team gonna be doing while the programmers are out working on the back end? Well, they turned that Statue of Liberty into the goddamn Statue of Liberty, you know what I mean? Practically the entire game prior to Layer 7 has received a visual overhaul, bringing it up to the standards set by the team after so many years of developing this damn game. The cityscape in Lust is no longer just a flat texture, the hands leading up to Gabriel's first fight are fleshy and decayed, the Ship of Fools has this whole spiral suitcase, and this really cute little statue of the current ferryman fighting a newly formed ferryman to death who wants to take his status away, which is really cool if you've paid attention to the lore. And what's that in his hand? Why, it's the freeze frame, of course. That's really cool foreshadowing for someone's first time playthrough. But it's not just cosmetic updates, gameplay has been tweaked a lot over the last 3 years. The Knuckle Blaster has its own binding now, which some of you might remember is something that I said I was against since I thought that would limit how high the skill ceiling could be, but some of the new mechanics added to the game require the Knuckle Blaster and have since changed my mind on this. You know when you kill a Mind Flayer and she goes into that overloaded state for a couple seconds before exploding? You can now hit her with the Knuckle Blaster and send her out like a goddamn bowling ball. It could detach your chainsaws. Oh yeah, there's chainsaws now. And the Gutterman, oh man, the Gutterman. Schisms fire a long beam connecting their volley of projectiles, Ground Slam shockwaves now have a larger radius and don't even cost stamina anymore, and the terminals actually look like they're running on bootleg Windows 98. It's actually Smile OS version 2. I won't lie, I didn't like this at first, but it's grown on me. The old system for switching your arms is still in the game if you really want to, but I ended up switching my mouse 5 binding to switch arms to just be, well, the Knuckle Blaster itself, keeping the feedbacker on my F key so that parrying is still easily accessible to me, which is really nice because parrying has gotten a bit of a buff. The hitbox to actually parry is a lot larger now, and you have an extra 3 frames of leniency. Hakito wants you to be a walking Swiss Army knife of utility, and I think that this change really adds to this. Alright, that's just about everything that I wanted to cover. There is a lot more, but I think that's enough for now. Are we ready to start? I think we're ready to start. Wait. There's one thing I need to go over first. 3 things, actually. That chainsaw that I mentioned before, that's the sawed-on shotgun. Turn that shotgun over and fire that baby off like it's the second most dangerous yo-yo out there. The first one, of course, my childhood best friend would use for ledge guarding on Final Destination, and I never truly recovered. Personally, I'm keen on whiplashing lighter demons up to me while I rev this thing up and shave them down to size until the powers that be deem it stale. Channel your inner Denji as you yearn for the authentic feel of a woman's touch. This thing deals 4.5 damage per second when used as a melee weapon, and juggling it with the feedbacker will hit a target 3 times for 1.5 damage per hit, dealing 4.5 damage, but if you smack it with the Knuckle Blaster, that thing will bounce around all over the place, breaking after 6 hits, but dealing 1 extra hit per contact for 6 total damage per contact, and a maximum potential of 9 damage across multiple contacts. And yes, it spins around magnets. Next up, the Firestarter. Instead of stopping time or launching a goddamn cannonball, take out the competition in a blaze of glory by coating them in oil and lighting them on fucking fire! Enemies like Maurice, who normally deflect your rockets, take that shit head on, from malicious faces to soldiers to Gabriel. Not because he's immune to rockets, I just wanted to oil him up. This is a hard one to make these little cheat sheets out of because the extra damage is so subjective. So many enemies take bonus damage while they're on fire, but not all enemies take that same amount of bonus damage, if at all. But regardless, the burning will deal 1 damage per tick, and you could also turn yourself into a bit of a reverse Frozone by sliding around on the oil slick to gain speed. It's probably actually closer to like diving into water in Mario Sunshine. Same thing. And last but not least, the Jumpstart nailgun. On its own, it's not that special, but it really shines with the reworked electricity mechanics that honestly, I don't even completely understand. The nailgun itself fires at a slower speed normally, but catches up to a regular fire rate when you hook a target with its alt fire. Overall, it's got a 0.5 DPS reduction from the nails alone compared to the silver nailgun, but if you wait just long enough for that plug to pop, they're hit with a 10 damage shock and an additional 6 damage if there's 90 nails stuck in the target, making it the most damaging nailgun in the arsenal under the right conditions. This number can be bumped up even further by the shock explosions jumping from target to magnets, to coins, to rockets, to other grounded enemies, creating a cacophony that would make Thor blush. It's not really viable in a one-on-one fight, so you're not going to be using these to shred down the Minotaur. What the fuck? Why are we censoring Minotaur? Dude, stop! Alright, gentle NBs in chat, I've just received word at the moment of writing this that Fraud is in fact coming out next week. Will I get this video done in time? Absolutely not, but I'm gonna try anyways. So let me ask you something. What do you think of when you think of the circle of violence? Probably lots of blood, gore, sharp objects, torture machines. Well, hold on to that thought, because that is not what I expected in the slightest. The crosses are a nice touch though. Oh wait, I forgot to check the terminal! Homing projectiles are difficult to dodge but slower to track, making them easier to parry. Oh great, I bet they're telling me this because we're gonna be facing an onslaught of mind flayers! Welcome to the outskirts of violence. We're not fully in the circle just yet. A marble white temple, not so much dedicated to violence itself, but a celebration of it. A blank canvas to the gods for its denizens to splay viscera across. Like the book says that we pick up later, it's time to take your brush and paint the world red! Dude, calm the fuck down. Nope, I don't like those. Are they breathing? Oh, guys, there's new orbs to grab, or new balls to hold. You know how this works. You guys hear a bird or something? What was that? Oh, Jesus, Prime, don't hurt me! You can have it back, man! I'm not fucking doing this! Alright, yeah, I'm a bit rustier than I was expecting. I really thought Ultrakill would be like riding a bike, you know? You never forget, but oh fuck, did I forget. Mannequins. Frail little things, 6 HP total, no special modifiers other than a half damage reduction against explosions. Sinners whose bodies violently transformed once they passed out from exhaustion in the labyrinth that is violence. Their limbs ripped apart and reassembled into what you see before you now, becoming pawns in the maze that has claimed them, damned to an eternity of hitting JoJo poses when they have no other purpose. They kind of look like the guys from the Tool music video for Schism, you know, more than the actual schisms themselves. They mostly stay at a distance until they scuttle up to you to try to slap you, which you can answer with the feedbacker. The feedbacker actually gets a lot of use with these guys. You can knock them airborne with the ground slam or a rocket, and then smack them in the air with the blue hand for an instant kill. Otherwise, they'll just hunker themselves down or latch onto a wall and fire blue homing projectiles at you. Either way, you're gonna be parrying a lot. They're like strays, but with some more tricks up their sleeves, but they're still parry fodder nonetheless. Oh, come on, man. Let me soft lock myself in peace. Oh, shit. There's a virtue in play. I know, man. I'll be with you in a second.
Oh, shh. There's already a bird in here.
Hank prophecy. Hold on, where did I leave that blue skull? I gotta try something. Holy shit, Andre the Giant 2! I could have done better. Suspicious, suspicious. Holy shit, it's Big John! You know, the guy from...
Come on, kill me!
Well, I guess actually he's from 2013 Rise of the Triad reboot, but I've only logged a few hours rising my Triad, and that was only ludicrous. I'd say that I should really do a video on this game, but I could already see the comments telling me that I'm a Civ 11 clone. Oh, another Civ 11 clone! Oh, fuck you, man! No, it's okay, that was just a warm-up round. With 60 health points, he's just V2's coding repurposed. He drops 35 damage dealing mines and rockets with a malicious face beam that does 50 damage. Now, I guess you could say that V2 did make it into Act 3 in some capacity. If you give him the chance to, he will circle strafe around you just like V2. Hey, if you really want to have some fun with this guy, pop the alt fire with the freeze frame and watch this guy literally blow himself up. I have no idea what just happened. I thought I was giving myself enough of an advantage by railcoining him at the beginning, but I didn't bank on him just blowing himself up even without the freeze frame. I guess he just does that. Just like with Mandalore and Shammy, killing one of these fun little Easter egg secret encounters gives us a tease for what's to come. A gate covered in foliage that requires the heat of what I'm guessing now is supposed to be the street cleaner's fire, or maybe an explosion. Do I just need to let him burn it, or do I gotta blow him up? Oh, shit. Oh, see, there was a mind flare. I was right. There was one. They're there. I love 7-1's level design. You get so much use out of this damn blue skull key. Opening up doors that let you revisit past rooms so that you can pick it up and get a move on. That's something that a lot of shooters with color keycards never actually really do before. This is game design similar to like picking up cubes and putting them on switches in Portal. It's not really the same as colored keycards in like Doom. Now we just need actual portals here and we'll be giving Aperture Science a run for their money. Alright, I think I missed a Norb. This video is sponsored by Manta Sleep. Now guys, I have something horrible to admit. Ever since January 1st, I've actually been waking up before 10 a.m. every day. It's crazy. I'm able to maintain playing video games and having a job and actually waking up before the sun even comes up some days. Well, a huge part of maintaining that consistency has been using the right gear, and Manta is to thank for this. Manta Sleep is the leader of the pro nap movement. The idea is that we shouldn't just be surviving the day, we should be optimizing it. And sometimes when I'm having a really rough day or I just feel like I need to recharge, a 20-minute nap can be a lifesaver. And you know, taking a nap at the dark is a lot easier than taking a nap directly in the path of the sun. And lucky for you, Manta's offering you darkness that fits right in your pocket. They sent me their sound mask, which can connect to your phone and uses these surprisingly thin headphones that still let you sleep comfortably on your side without getting earbuds jammed deeper into your skull. If you'd like to level up your sleeping game, click my link in the description, use my promo code, and get a nice little discount on your order from Manta Sleep. It's a great way to not just support me, but also the other people who help me out on this channel. Huge thanks to Manta Sleep for sponsoring this channel once again, and now, let's get back to it. Fuck. Fuck. Whoa. Oh, great, they got Smile OS running on the damn tram trains. Can we speed this damn thing up already? Oh, did you see that? I think that was an invisible loading screen. I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh shit, it's the Minotaur! 2 phases, 60 HP each. It'll destroy tram platforms with his mini Panopticon hammer, drop corrosive hazards in place, deflect rockets from the harder parts of its body. But overall, it's actually a pretty easy fight if you ignore all the times that I died. I like to set up a saw blade trap right at the middle of the tram and then set it on fire for a little bit with the Firestarter. A gift crafted for Minos, who rejected the damn thing and saw it as a gross caricature of his mistakes, whatever the fuck that means. He cast it down into the circle of violence where now it roams the halls of the labyrinth, blindly rampaging through, trying to see the sun one last time. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Oh, no, this isn't good. It's okay, I did it! Oh, thank God, the exit. Oh my God! Oh man, don't reach for the sun like that. I'm not ready to cry at Ultrakill. Not again, anyway. Now, you might be asking, Travis, if you're so rusty at the game, wouldn't you want to practice a little bit first? To which I say, hi, you must be new here. Let me repeat some of the rules for this series. Here at Ultrakill Repentance, levels will be P-ranked before we even get to move on to the next one. It is a challenge that I have set upon myself. And in order to P-rank a mission, you gotta be at least a little decent at this game. So, P-ranking this level was my practice. This shaped me up enough to get me back into gear so that I could get back up to par for the rest of the layer. That's why it took me another 70 minutes to finally P-rank this damn level. Well, I actually pranked it twice. I forgot to unpause the recording the first time I did it, and then I did it again. Oh fuck, why did I have to bring Andre into the basement? This is not safe! That's not enough style points, Travis! Dude, where's my car? God damn it, I'm him. Well, okay, hold on. That's a little complicated. Oh no, there's new hook points now. What, was I too slow? Oh, I saw it that time. I'm onto something. Motherfucker, that is strict. And why do the blue hook points keep doing that? All right, remember, hook first, then dash jump. Holy shit, finally! And what's our reward? A Roman numeral puzzle just like back in Limbo. But we're in 7-2, and this is number 1. The 3 Roman numerals that we need to find are actually all in this stage, each of them hidden behind time trials just like these. Though this is the only one where if you want to try it again, you have to start the whole level over. Press all 3 of them and a door in a train station will open up for us, but we're gonna be P-ranking this stage first before we go back to collect it, cause I don't wanna be tempted by it when I come back to P-rank this stage. Aw, they're gay. Excuse me! Gutterman, the first of the 2 gutter people we'll be facing in 7-2. The bastard child of a Doom 2 chain gunner and the large fathers from bio something. Early machines of the final war and one of the first machines to use blood as a fuel source. Drop directly into the trenches and making enemy combatants choose whether they want to get mowed down by the machine guns keeping them inside the trenches or get mowed down by the Gutterman. Yes, these are early precursors to the V-model robots, using a barbaric method to keep the machine fueled with blood. A casket is carried on its back housing volunteered patriots, or so we were told. In reality, these human fuel sources were deserters, humans who chose not to be pawns in their country's slaughter, instead turned into the ultimate pawn as a punishment. Welded shut inside of a steel casket, constantly supplying the machine with an endless supply of blood as it slaughters its targets. And I can't decide if that's better or worse than robots like V1 needing to harvest blood from a fresh supply. This intro, Gutterman, 30 health points, but the enemy variants that we meet shortly after... Oh, hold on, let me drop the title card real quick. 25 HP, dealing 10 damage per hit from its chain gun, 35 from its melee regularly, and reducing that number down to 25 if you break its shield. You need to close the gap with these guys as soon as possible, because the longer he's firing his chain gun at you, the better his aim gets. And yes, these shots from the Gutterman are hit scan. I just got a message from Gianni, like in the middle of recording this. How fucking cosmic is that? And while breaking his shield does get rid of his overall 66% damage reduction, it only improves his aim even faster. Rico shots, rockets, core ejects are all really risky with with this guy. He'll either blow up your rockets or even turn your own coins against you. And that shield, by the way, completely negates damage to anything that comes in contact with and provides the rest of the guy, you know, the vulnerable part, with a 66% damage reduction to all incoming damage. And his punch is unparryable while his shield is still in play. So how might you break this damn thing, you might be asking? Well, there's a few ways. You could feed back a landmine into it, hit it with the red fist, use the Knuckle Blaster's explosion. You don't even have to make direct contact with the punch itself, or even punch a Mind Flayer into it. That is incredibly situational. And that's not even the best part. The best part is that whenever you break his shield, it counts as a parry, meaning you get a full health restore upon breaking it, and on violence difficulty, you could keep coaxing him into a melee afterwards and parrying each of them. I actually need to specify that now because on the new brutal difficulty, he gets enraged, but this series isn't on brutal, that's for a future video. Killing this behemoth will create a shockwave and leave his corpse on the map, which will sound familiar to our Maurice enthusiasts out there, and just like Maurice, you could stomp on his corpse to remove the corpse from the map, with the small catch that that's not healthy. Oh good, I could swap my arms with no binding! Oh my god, they just hit the Big Benjamin! Oh my god. I was right on it! That should have worked! Fuck! There we go, that was easy. Oh fuck, right, the orb. Mother, yada, 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 But I hope it redeems my life even just a slight when I cried and crushed your skull on that final night. Oh yeah, look at that. I guess one of the Guttermen got a little self-aware of the lives that they were leeching off of. Can you keep an eye open for me for a Gutterman without a coffin on? I want to shake his big meaty hands. Damn it, Travis, I can't check them for the coffin if you're stepping on them so fast! Oh no, oh, Samus got fat. So you know how the Guttermen are kind of tanky, but you know, they're called Guttermen? They aren't tanks. These guys, these space bounty hunter looking bots, these are the Guttertanks. They're still a threat, but they don't really have the gimmick of a shield to really prioritize. There's some fun tricks you could do with them. Their rockets use the same frequency as our rockets, so you can stall their rockets with the freeze frame, which I like to combo with the nailgun magnet, so it turns mine and his own rockets against him. That's always so much fun. Guttertanks, 2 less health than their older Gutter brothers, but no modifiers to their health, no resistances, and no weaknesses. They'll lay down mines, fire rockets at you that'll stop mid-air. Basically, their whole kit is creating traps in areas of denial for V1, but ultimately aren't too dangerous if the player is able to keep up and navigate the literal minefield that they're laying down for you. The landmines are really silly, jumping into the air for a second, kind of like the hopper mines back in Half-Life 2, letting V1 feedback them into enemies. You saw this earlier with the Gutterman shield. And for what it's worth, they are giving you a long-range option for breaking those Gutterman shields, at least if there's not a Mind Flayer in play. They also have an unparryable melee like their older brothers, except this one becomes parryable when they miss. You can just dash right through it and punish them afterwards, but that's kind of the thing, right? It's not even exactly a parry at this point, it's more of a punish, but fuck it, I'll take it. It's fun. It feels like I'm humiliating them in a way. Just like the Guttermen, they'll wind up a melee when you're getting too close to them, which will give you moments where you'll whiplash them, and then they will react directly to your whiplash by punching you away. The Guttertanks are upgraded Guttermen that drove their older brothers obsolete. Champions of the second era of the final war, where machines were endlessly pitted against fellow machines, with the next designed to outclass the previous newest. You can even say this for yourself if you coax a Guttertank into punching a Gutterman. This is what they were built for. Resources for the war were prioritized over the well-being of the individual, and like the terminal says, conquest leads to war, war leads to famine, and famine leads to... Or death. I think it's a 4 horsemen sort of thing, but violence just felt cooler to say in the moment. I'm sorry. I'm speed. First try, motherfucker! So this tram that we took to get over here, we needed this so that we could get this bomb and place it on top of it so that we can go back to this gate where we were initially blocked out because there's rubble in the way, which is where on the screen some text shows up where it's a Jaws reference and it says, we're gonna need a bigger boom. Yeah, I've got your bigger boom right here! I always forget about this last orb here. The door to it only opens if you close the C gate from this little terminal here. You gotta close it and then go all the way back around. Oh, right, before I forget. Oh, great. The Insurrectionist isn't just a random enemy that they put here. There is a little bit of significance, even though I think that it was more of a reaction to the picking up the red orb, but I digress. Angels haven't been seen down here for a long time, letting demons find an opportunity to take safe passage into the deeper layers of hell, booby-trapping the layers library to allow for safe passage if you know the path. Right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right. And there you go, you just skipped the entire last arena, which will come in real handy for the level's challenge of not killing any demons, which technically would be impossible if it weren't for the hole in the ground that lets you skip all the way to the tram section. And then you just play the level like normal without killing anything. You do gotta blow the top out of this case that's holding the red skull key, letting you whiplash the thing out from the top like you're in a goddamn spy thriller, and you're not gonna have access to blood to heal yourself, but that's what these little mines here are for. Then you just follow the code in the book in the library and you're all set. See? Easy. And the P rank? Pretty straightforward. Not that bad. You gotta actually fight the onslaught of Gutterman and Guttertanks in the library, which led to this Scooby-Doo-ass moment where I freeze all the rockets in place and have them zoom off screen and take out a Guttertank. Yeah, 3 Guttertanks can be intimidating in a tight space, but they're also perfectly lined up for me to railgun. Then you just set up a couple saw blade traps to take them out. I don't know. Took me about 10 minutes to P rank. It's not bad. Baby, I've waited so long for you. Everyone, I'd like you to meet the Jackhammer, your alternate shotgun. You know, I had no idea what they would come up with for the alternate shotgun prior to this. The alt pistol sacrificed fire rate and split coining for a slower magnum-like weapon. The nailgun sacrificed a lot to become a piercing weapon with focused damage. And I conceded that I just wasn't creative enough to even imagine what an alternate shotgun could have been. But when I first saw a screenshot of this thing, I thought the long barrel-looking thing with the flare at the end made it look almost like a sniper rifle, like we were sacrificing the close range of the shotgun for a precision weapon. Holy shit, was I wrong. Also, I kept calling it the pile driver and had to find and replace all mentions of pile driver in my script. I have no idea where I got that from, but Google still knew what I meant when I googled Ultrakill pile driver. This thing is so absurdly powerful that I feel like it is in desperate need of a nerf. Another one. It's got a simple gimmick. You gotta charge up your hit for it, but that hit only does about 3 damage, just half a damage more than a point-blank shot from the unpumped range shotgun. But do you see that little speedometer there off to the side, which if you're playing with a right side view model is perfectly in the center of your screen? If you move fast enough, that dial hits yellow, adding 3 extra damage to your hit. And if you go fast enough to hit red, 10 fucking damage. That's more than the electric rail cannon. And yes, it'll knock the thing out of commission for 7 seconds if you make contact with a red hit, but during that time, you could just swap to another variant shotgun for 3 back-to-back red hits if you swap over all 3 of your shotguns. And yes, it even stacks with the pump charge for 13.5 damage with an additional 3 damage for that explosion. Fucked up. Insane. Shouldn't be legal, and I feel like I need to return it to this excavator bot that we stole it from. Pulling yourself to an enemy with the whiplash caps at yellow speed, but dismounting from the whiplash right before impact will immediately bounce you up to red, letting you do crazy shit like that triple red bounce from earlier. And that hit stop when you make impact, not only can you use this time to adjust the direction you're looking so that you can launch yourself in your direction of choice completely regardless of your incoming trajectory, but even throw a melee hit in there too. I'm keen on bouncing off with a red charge straight up and then flipping 4 coins just long enough for them to all be a split shot. Never gets old. The chainsaw is mostly the same on this thing, though you can juggle it with the primary fire, and the core eject just tosses that thing right at your feet. Pretty dangerous if you're not prepared for it, but with a direct hit, Good lord, they made the core eject a hit scan. You can also do the same thing with rockets too. Makes it fun to counter a Guttertank with. Oh, hold on, let me channel my inner Doom 3. Oh! Oh, those trees are people! Oh, that's creepy. All right, I take it back. That was actually beautiful. Wait. Oh my fucking god. Is this the song that Fib is singing in Garn 47? God damn it. So there's 3 trees of life here, not to be mistaken with Yggdrasil. These are trees full of blood, literally filled with the nectar of life, and is what inspired this take on the cross. Not representing the crucifixion of Christ, but instead tributes to the tree of life. Or trees, since there's more than one. We can get 2 orbs right at the get-go here. Oh, hello. Why did the music stop? Oh, I don't like that. Oh shit, wait, I needed you for the foliage door! Come on, just a little closer. God damn it! Oh, finally, it's time for the secret level! After we finish up this level! Oh god, my frames! I wrote down in my notes that this is borderline unplayable, and yes, OBS, my recording software, bears a big amount of blame here, but I went back and replayed this level without my recording software and still saw some pretty significant frame drops, but nothing nearly as bad as when I had my recording software open. Even switching to CPU encoding didn't fix this. I swear to god, if I'm gonna have to set up a dual PC setup to record fraud, I'm gonna be fucked. I don't know how I managed to pull off getting an Ultrakill rank in this arena. I don't know, I think muscle memory helped me more than anything. And this dual wield power-up, kind of like the one in 4-1, lasts a really long time. Alright, what's last? Marked for death? Is that a red skin madness crystal from Dusk up there?
You will start on the show now, baby.
You're goddamn right I am. Oh, they're not infighting anymore. They're not distracted by each other anymore. I'm the star of the show now, baby. Oh, come on, I was right there, man, baby. Fuck. Yeah, you know what? That was actually pretty tough. That took me almost a half hour to do. Despite the technical hiccups, the P rank wasn't too bad. No notes, really. All that comes to mind is that I really liked the couple of times that the mannequins try to get the drop on you, and I can always brace myself for the parry the second they show their faces. That was nice. All right, now what's a secret level all about? I haven't played it before. It's a great setup. There's a bunch of arenas that don't have any music kicking in just yet. It's surprisingly tranquil. You'll be painting the walls red all throughout the, hold on, let me see here, Library of Babel. But you might have noticed the abundance of trash cans and dumpsters around the map. Suspicious, suspicious. All of the other secret levels have been takes on other genres, and so far, 7-S isn't really too different from ordinary level, with the exception of the lack of music. That is until you make it to the very end and hell tells you, hey, clean up your shit, and hands you a power washer and a vacuum and sends you back on your way. Yeah, this is a sort of power wash simulator, viscera cleanup detail inspired level. Neither of which I've ever played before, but I have played the 2013 Shadow Warrior. Okay, maybe that doesn't make sense on its own. There's a Shadow Warrior viscera cleanup detail crossover. That worked better in my head. This footage you're looking at here is from right after Fraud released, and at the time, the map was bugged. Everything you washed was counted, but the blood that you'd washed from the map wasn't shown as being cleaned up, like the texture wasn't updating. everything. So you'd need a good system to remember where you've actually cleaned up. And honestly, I was just gonna shelve this segment until my next Ultrakill video on fraud because I would assume that they would update it by then, but in the most recent hotfix update, the map was fixed. So I'm recording and writing this segment just like literally 2 days before I'm supposed to put out this video. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, I can make this so much easier if I go into the options and turn off blood and gore. Sorry, blood is mandatory for 7-S. Also, ow, that really hurt my throat. You can play with low gore to make it easier, but I won't. You don't need to clean every little speck of viscera from the library babble, just enough for the bar at the top to reach 99% and then it'll auto-complete the area for you. You can clearly see when I've cleaned the floor in the lobby and it marks it as done even though there's a good chunk of blood left on the floor. Hello? Leave me alone. They do go the extra mile though to show that a surface is clean, making it all reflective and showing these nice little glimmering particles all around the room. It's really cute. That's a nice touch. Also, I'm a little bit late to this, but I just learned at this point that you can bind specific color variants to a specific button, so I did Z, X, and C for blue, green, and red respectively. That would have been handy while I was recording the rest of this. 7-S gets a little creative with it too. The pool that you fight the hideous mass in front of, the pool is all dyed red with blood, and you gotta use the vacuum on the plug to drain the water, and then you can use that hole to push all the litter into, which isn't good cleaning advice for real life, but it counts here. Several rooms have alternative holes to push your giblets into. There's a pit by the lounge, there's a pit in the middle of the lobby. Both of them are viable to push your giblets into, but otherwise, you're gonna need to take the time to use the vacuum to scoop up the mannequin arms and swords machine corpses into these tiny little trash bins. It's slow, it's tedious, it gave me flashbacks to my time with Payday 2. It's cleaning, but it tickles my brain in such a way that I find it almost addicting. Just watching this footage back while I write this script makes me want to jump back in for a third round on my own time. Though maybe that's because I'm nearing my 30s and cleaning my house has become progressively more of an enjoyable activity to me. So why does the library have a pool? I tried a few systems to see what worked best. I tried making small contained piles of the litter that I couldn't vacuum so I could just blow it all in batches towards the nearest trash can. I tried not following the checklist and instead cleaning whatever was nearest to me, quick swapping between my tools like I'm playing the Doom Eternal of power washers. But honestly, what I found worked best was literally treating this like I'm cleaning up a real room, following the checklist from top to bottom, one task at a time, and if there's litter to clean up on my way that's keeping me from washing the floor, I'll take care of it. Otherwise, I kept it systematic, I kept it regimented, and I kept it clean. Thank you, hell. I will have a good day. Oh, right, the testament. So last time when we were in the fishing level, God lamented sending Lucifer to the pits of hell after he'd been questioned, and now he's writhing in that guilt and self-pity, sounding almost suicidal, saying that he's seeking out the end of his days, but when he stared into the abyss averted its gaze. So do you think that means we'll see Lucifer as the prime soul for Act 3, or do you think he'll be the boss of treachery? No, that can't be it. There has to be more, something I missed. Surely Mandalore might know.
Hey, the waterfalls conceal the water ups. Agnes Gorge Trail. Use your ability and find size 2.
Wait, what? The waterfall conceals the water ups. I will find you, size 2. Surely on the other side of this very, very long pathway that is deliberately designed so it's impossible to slam storage launch yourself. What do you mean I need the red skull key? How? I can't even get over here without the red skull. How am I gonna take this all the way around the babbling library? Why is that book green? Oh, egads! Careful if you're doing this on a run where you actually need to complete the level, because these haunted drones will drop extra giblets you need to vacuum. Yes, as you saw at the bottom, this will unlock the drone haunting cheat, where when enabled, any drones killed will turn into these silly little ghosts that make funny faces and haunt you all the way to the end of the level. It's cute. I'd love to see a menu when the game's finally finished, maybe only unlockable when you complete a save file, that just has a list of all the challenge runs you could do with the modifiers like clash mode and drone haunting. Something to keep track of all these little modifiers without having to make me open up the cheat menu every time I go into a new level. Anyways. So what's this all about, Hakita? I was promised a size 2. Oh, by the way, that glass of wine right there? That's not wine. That's the blood of V2.
Yeah, the whole point with the death, do it in fucking splattering into guts and blood and nothing else. It's specifically so that it's like, this character is so fucking dead. It's so dead as it possibly could ever be. And people are still like, maybe it's alive though. Maybe it comes back. Maybe someone like reconstructs it. Like, reconstructs what? There's nothing left.
Reconstructs the fucking blood, I guess. You just have like a bowl of blood.
We had the thought that we would add like there would be like a margarita glass in 7.4 that just had like blood in it, and it had like a sign on it that says V2.
I heard that there's a plush of Victoria behind the moon, but when I turned on cheats to no clip up there, the whole damn secret disappeared, reverting back to a version of the map that you only see if you haven't done 5-S. That's okay though, we'll see her in the next map. So the terminal's hinting at how you could launch enemies into pits with a knuckle blaster. What, are we gonna be scaling up a mountain or something? There's blood in my pants. The Earth Mover, a Supreme Machine that isn't a V model, keeping up the tradition of fighting a Supreme Machine at the end of the first layer of every act, except this time it isn't V2. The natural conclusion of the arms race spawned by the final war. The 1000 THR Earth Mover, though not the last robots made for the war, that title technically goes to the V-Series robots, they were the last ones to be deployed during the war. And for a good reason, earning themselves the nickname, the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Get it? Because they're like centaurs? Like the centaurs that guard the blood rivers in the seventh circle of hell in Dante's Inferno that fire arrows into any soul who dares rise against them? Yeah, where's your bow and arrow? Oh! Hell, even the name 1000 THR is a pun on its own. 1000 in Japanese is Sen, the bot itself is implied to be built by the Japanese, and THR can be abbreviated to Thor, Centaur, Senthor, yeah, you get it. These things are walking fortresses, typically running off of a mix of blood and solar power, though good luck finding any of that down here. This one substituted its need for sunlight for hell energy, perhaps as a trade-off for being immobilized by the roots of the trees of life. And oh god, are those trees well fed. When the world was no longer habitable, homes and cities were instead constructed on the backs of these machines, eventually killing themselves from all the soot and ash from their massacre blocking out the sun, which I assume eventually became the long night that's mentioned in the street cleaner's bio, forcing the war to conclude with a mad dash to clean pollution from the air. War had become reliant on the Earth Movers, and without them to function, what did the world even have left to fight over? Hey, so if every machine was built to outdo the last, does that mean that the roar that the Earth Mover makes is actually a scream of fear for its own self-preservation? Even if it is, despite the loss on its side and that tiny little top hat on, well, the top of it, this thing is fucking horrifying. 7-4 isn't so much a boss fight, but a gauntlet, scaling up this massive machine built for war, where we shred it from the inside. Huge exhaust pipes line the side of this thing, gushing blood from the absurd amount of hemoglobin it takes to run this thing. It's a creation of man, but it feels almost cosmically horrifying. Fuck, dude, why do I keep falling off? What am I? Oh. Yeah, that's on me. I don't know what it is, but the vents that act as bounce pads here are so hard for me to notice. In this little encounter with those couple soldiers up there, I didn't even know that there was a vent until my P run. I would just go platform up on my own. Same with the exit out of the interior. Maybe if vents that bounced you this dim were introduced earlier in the system, or maybe if they had colored lighting, but at this point, I don't know, it feels kind of like a skill issue. Did anyone else try to use the ladders to climb? Yeah, maybe I was a little too immersed in this thing and not actually ultra killing my way up here. Whoa, teleporting Maurice! There's a mini-boss against its defense system right before you go into the heart. It's a series of turrets and hazards to take out that are so flimsy that I couldn't even really be bothered to check their stats. 7 individual units, 15 health points each. We don't even need to fight them if we don't care about going for P ranks. Just zap this crane over here to bring us over to an alternate path straight into the heart of the thing. At least I'm assuming that this is the heart. Do you think all these giant organs were here before or after it was assimilated by hell? 6 idols keep this thing protected, which is delightfully fucked up, turning this thing really into a hellish union between demons and machine. Disgusting, potentially treacherous. This fight also acts as an intro to magenta beams. It wasn't at launch, but it was retroactively made into one during the revamp update. It's something that'll become a bigger deal in Fraud. You can't use your dash's iframes to zoom through them like you could everything else. Enjoy it in this tutorial format for now before it becomes hell later on. Eventually you'll make it to the brain in a fight that reminds me a lot of the Heart of Marks from Kirby Superstar and absolutely nothing else.
Jesus!
I don't even know what it's doing, man. It just keeps spinning around. Is there a dog piloting that thing? Oh, hi, Victoria. All right, just wait for the right time to strike it. Well, that was easy. No, it wasn't. Gotta go right now. Gotta go. I see someone's been playing a little too much Metroid. Someone's been playing a little too much. Is that a Quake door? Awesome, cool boss. I like it a lot, even if it's less of a boss fight and more of just a really cool, short, tough level. Now let me pee on you. Perhaps I underestimated you, machine. I like to spin the sharpshooter around when jumping on this vent because it gives you just enough lift to make it right in front of the blood exhaust platform section with the turret. It feels nice. It feels good. No, don't get cocky, Travis. That might just be the biggest explosion that we've seen in Ultrakill yet. Now get the fuck out of my way. I gotta get my fraud on. Hey, thanks so much for making it to the end of this video. It was actually a lot of fun to come back and do another Ultrakill video for you guys. I was putting this one off for too long. I just was gonna wait until Act 3 was finished, but there's so much to talk about and I wanted to get back to it quickly because fraud is back in everyone's mind. It actually was announced and then came out midway through making this video. So that was interesting to navigate. Big thank you to our new Golden Guys members, Van6656, Grant Willard, Zelencolly, Depressed Idiot 23, and Light Wolf Gaming. All Golden Guy supporters get shouted out on the video after they just subscribed, and our Platinum guys get shouted out every video. Guys like Carcino, Titan the Deer, Blue Night Boy, and Thickless Mage. Thank you guys so much for your continued support, and welcome all the new guys. You can use your benefits to join the Patreon and even see videos early if I'm, able to put them out before my deadlines, which hopefully going forward won't be a problem. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in Fraud.